Hey everyone, this is Pugs. I get a lot of questions about like the arena edit every time, especially every time I put like a new arena. So I was gonna make like a tutorial, but I decided I'll just turn OBS on while I work and um, and just let you guys see what I'm doing. And then I guess if you have questions, you can ask um, in comments, and I'll see if I could help you out. But anyway, I'm working on WrestleMania 10. I got this texture from Mollywood, essentially broken into three pieces: bottom left, bottom right, and middle. You can kind of see it's a little broken here, so I might end up reproducing this WrestleMania sign and just putting it sort of over so that it fits. But I'll do that later. That's not one of my priorities. What I'm trying to do is build a tunnel. And so I watched WrestleMania 10, just a clip off Peacock, and saw how it's built. So I designed these inner um, sort of pieces here using Photoshop. So anyway, and then I do like I load it in left, and then I load it in right, and then I do top separately. I do that because on the right, as you see here, I have mine. I got aggravated because I had a glitch before, so I just put it on ring. But you can put it on stage. Should be able to put it on stage wall. On the right side, that way it appears behind, or excuse me, in front of the wrestler as they're coming out. And then I set the left one right here back audience. I put it at -11 because I'm gonna have curtains and other stuff that I want to put that's gonna be behind it. So the specific number doesn't matter. And I don't know why I go negative, but you could go positive, but for some odd reason it just makes sense to me to go negative. So and then so that way that this piece ends up behind them. So as they're coming out, it's not popping up in front of them. The texturing in this game it's weird. And it's not like your normal. I don't know shit about programming or gaming or anything, but it doesn't seem what I would expect to be normal. So anyway, I created these panels which I want to try to fit. They look a little too small, and I think I wanted a little bit more of a glow. But the point for this tonight is I just want to see what it's gonna look like. So anyway, I got a tunnel panel here. I'm gonna re-add this object, remove that one. I do that just sometimes because I just like all the panel stuff around, because I don't like to work on multiple panels and then have to go back up and search for things. So, and also I also have a lot of CVS files. Like you'll see in my WrestleMania 10. Let's go off the screen. I've got the entrance with the rails, or excuse me, the entrance that's with all the curtains and all the stuff, with a different entrance, complete, which you guys will, by now I'm sure I would have posted it and you would have seen both of the WrestleMania 10 entrances. This is prior to me doing any tunnel work. I don't even know what it's going to look like. For all I know, it looks like shit, but anyway. And so I do this to limit the amount of stuff going on here, because the more components, I guess, or re-edit components that you have, every time you pause, you update whatever item and then hit save. I don't know where the hell I put the log, somewhere over here, maybe X'd out, but it's reloading everything. And so I found that the more stuff you have, like if you go to it's one that I've got a lot. Like if you go to my raw, don't expect a 98. There's no 98. It was just from a long time ago. Like you see all this stuff. So like if I move even one or two items, like let's say I just move a couple digits and do something different, there's a high percentage chance that the game's gonna crash. So what I try to do is isolate my SCV files. Like, all right, these are all Like these are all the rails, right? So all I know is that when I open this up and I try to name everything, I know there's a lot of other stuff going on, but I'm a messy worker sometimes. That's why I don't want to do tutorials. Like I gotta explain like weird ways. But anyway, I would just copy these, take it over to my other SCV file. You know, so then once I finish this shit, I paste that over, and now the arena's complete, and I didn't have to risk crashing. Yes, it's a pain in the ass, and you know, but whatever. All right, like a dentist now. I gotta get in there, open wide. So I'm trying to do. Let's see. We're gonna work on that. Panel. So I gotta first rotate this. Typically what I like to do, let's do this first rotation. Do like a horizontal rotation. I just like to get the camera even, you know. Try to see if I have something that I can like match it up against. Like, is it flat? I'll move the camera a little bit. And I'm gonna be honest, all the components are different, so I think for this it's gonna be this one. Sometimes, oh yeah, wrong one. It's this one. Yeah, so now I'll try to do this. I'm gonna move this over. I guess we can move it down first. Basically my thinking here is I just kind of want to start to pocket it in, get it straight with this, and then see how much I need to extend it, because it's clearly the texture's too small. Now what I could always do is go back to Photoshop and the hell did I name this thing? Tunnel panel. Yeah, I could always just expand this. But in this case, like this particular texture, I'm okay with expanding. If I was expanding this, I'd be like, no, we'll break it into pieces and shrink. I'll break it into pieces and shrink it. This I'm gonna end up probably, if I haven't said this already, I'm gonna end up probably fixing that, because that line, there's nothing I can really do. It seems like there's nothing I can do. I can maybe try to figure it out later. It's kind of why I also sometimes laugh when people are like, how do you make this thing? And it's like, dude, I don't know. Oh, fucking match is over. It's like, I don't know. There's 100 ways to do things. You know, it's like asking an artist, how do you paint a tree? I don't know. It's like one paints it one way and another paints it another. So you know. Alright, I gotta work faster. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little under the influence, so I'm working a little slow. It's 10:30 on a Thursday, you know? Anyway, that's what I would say. Now move things to the left, so I want to move this over, you know, this way. So I know I have to subtract from the top and add to the bottom, and it's got to be the same value. So I just created like these little formulas in Excel. So I'll show you guys how to use it. I mean, I could do the math right now, but basically I'd put my positioning right now, negative 1.5, negative 1.5. That's my X value, and that's my Z value. Yes, I'm aware that I can use the mouse, but I choose not to do that. And honestly, for some odd reason, I can't move and place an object and get it to stay, by the way. So, and also like the values, I don't know, they're just kind of clean. I'm also really, I don't want to sound like a dick. I'm good with numbers. Like if it comes to subtracting and adding stuff, and I can build little tools like this, and I don't know, I just prefer to do it that way. But anyway, I want to move it over I'm gonna guess 0.7. And now it's telling me, okay, so these are your new values. So I'm gonna do. But again, this is how I work. You know, somebody else might be like, dude, this guy's crazy. I'm using the mouse. That's how I roll. Call it a day. And that's cool. I don't care, you know? Alright, now we gotta rotate this thing again. So now we gotta rotate it this way. What is that? 45 degrees? Right? So, because I think it's 360 divided by 6. Is it 60? 60 degrees maybe. So in this particular case, it rotates the opposite way that I think I needed it to rotate, which is annoying, right? So, negative 60. Or I guess you could do 200 and whatever that number is, 300 degrees. All right, it's clearly not enough. Let's go up to 90. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm not good at geometry. That's what I'm saying. Like, as I'm doing this, you should be discovering, like, wow, this guy's really, he's just winging it. Yeah. You know, part of this is, like, I'm always learning something new about this arena edit. Like, there's all these little quirks, and I'm sure Carl does the best he can to work with, you know, whatever coding the game, you know, the game gives him. So you just got to learn, like, these little things along the way. It's a little bit of trial and error. I still really don't even know which way things rotate depending on the object. So you just play around. Alright, that looks pretty good for the angle. I'm a little bit of a attention to detail whore sometimes. I wasn't when I first started, but I don't know. I feel like now that I've gotten better at it. If I don't want to go a full degree. Oh, God. It's 325. No, 0.5. Sleeping on the job here. Nope. We'll go back up 33. Am I going the wrong way? I was going the wrong way. I think that's good. We're gonna call that good. Now I need to expand. I need to make it fatter. So oh, that's probably why, because I spawned it in at 0.6. Like a stunad. I'm Italian, so, you know, stunad's like... Stunad means, like, you're an idiot, you know? There you go. That looks better. Alright, I think I feel more comfortable about the size. Just playing with the digits here. So now, I think I want to make it a little fatter. Okay, I think I did it the other way, so I'm going to put that back. I could always extend it the other way if I want, but for now. And actually, while we're here, that does look way too big. So let's shorten it up by half. I think I like that. So it's not perfectly even. I don't like it. I don't like it. Alright, I'm gonna change this angle. See if I can get this right. That's better. We'll go 175. This is 190. Okay. Not bad. Also, are we even with the ground? That's another thing that really drives me insane is I gotta make sure. Oh, wow, we're way off. I've been screwing up the whole time. Actually, this is a really good time for a lesson. Maybe. Actually, no, that is wrong. Okay, that is way out of whack. See how right here you want the ground to be even? Look how... So that's the thing about the layering, right? Is you think it's on the ground, but realistically it's not, you know, just based on the layering. So this is a good teaching moment. Entrance left. We have it at -1. Let's, and that's because it's 0.65. So we have to shrink it a little bit. Make it look like it actually fits the wrestlers. Let's go down to 0.8. And actually these curtains. So, I'll explain to you what I just did. And we've got to go a little bit higher. Okay, that looks better. That looks better. So what I just did, let's get the left side. Actually, let me do this first. So remember, we started at -1. Now we're at negative point. Okay, now we're at -0.75. Okay, so we've corrected this. So now you're thinking like, well, shit. Now like everything else is fucked up. No, because I already lined everything else. All I have to do now is increase the y by 0.25 for everything else. Okay? So we've got a negative number here. 0.25 is 0.65. Update. Right? Thankfully, it's the same thing as the left. It's also not really hard math. Update. And then the top, see now it's like, well, shit, now I gotta do the math, blah, blah, blah. All right, 1.865 plus 0.25. If you're asking yourself, why is that number so precise? It's because, again, I try to make the, everything line up perfectly. So now we hit save, everything comes up, and boom, it's back in alignment. And now we're right back to where we were. Sometimes I like to also exit, and I like to be like, well, let me reward myself and just see how beautiful this looks. Or how utterly shitty it looks. Alright, so we got some work to do, but you could, you kind of, see it coming together. There's obviously some more work that's got to be done. I don't have the I have an idea of what I want this to look like, but it's important for you guys to know as I'm doing this, like, I really don't know what the final thing is going to look like. I really, really don't. I mean, I have an idea, like I'm going to put some sort of black curtain to cut things off and make it darker, and off curtains here off on the side. I was thinking about putting curtains at an angle, sort of give it a tighter look like it was at Madison Square Garden, like maybe come in this direction. I don't know. But that's the other thing, is like, you just test things. You're just like, alright, I don't want to do this. Alright, one of the other reasons I really enjoy using this component, the Arena Wall O2, is because it's square center in the middle, and when I want to move things up and down, it's very simple. I mean, generally it really is, no matter what item you're using, but it happens to spawn, so I keep world position, I keep it right in the middle, so it's really easy. But basically I need to move this back, and again, as I was saying earlier, if you were watching before, away from the ring. So we need to go in this direction. So come here to the panel, away from the ring. So I gotta add an equal number. In this case, I'm not gonna use the calculator. Sometimes, as you can see, previously I did it for, like, bigger numbers, and that's when I was in more under the influence. All right. So we're gonna increase it by, let's start by 0.2 to start. So 0.0, 0.6. I promise I'll stop mentioning that. Shouldn't keep doing that. All right. 1.9, 0.5. Negative numbers, of course. Okay. Yes, I like what I see here. So one of the things I think immediately noticeable is that there's a gap right here, and there's a gap right here, and we're not going to want that. But that's not a problem I'm going to solve right now. That's a problem I'm going to solve right here, later, when I turn this into a box, instead of the object that I somehow thought it'd be a good idea to use. The other thing I could potentially do, and I don't know if I'll do it, is when I add the next piece and I align it this way, there's going to be a gap here in the middle. Most likely. Alright, so let's think this out. I can either put something behind it to sort of make it black, whether that's a curtain, I mean, for all we know, maybe this curtain will look good. If it's a little break, it won't be the worst thing in the world. And maybe it'll fit in, right? But I know I might have to do something there, so I gotta keep that in the back of my mind. I put a little glow of white in Photoshop around this. I don't think that looks good either. I might make that black, or I might just get rid of it, or I might do something where, like, duplicate layer. If I go here, like, I make it all black, right? Just assume that this is black for whatever reason. I know it's yellow, right? But I might end up doing something like that. That might make sense. I don't know. So again, from the creative standpoint, it's like, I don't know. We'll just have to see. All right. So now I want to do my next panel, which is going to be this way. No reason to break your back here. You add an object, And I just went to the panel I had and just add object and just duplicate it, and it's in the exact same spot, and all now I've got to do is figure out how to get that at the other angle and higher up. So I think that's fine. But if we make, yeah, because the 90 was just to have it face that way, I think, if I remember. I think if I make it positive. Boom. Suck it. There's the X. Alright, so, and it looks already perfectly aligned. That's awesome. Let's give it a shot. Let's raise this bad boy. Let's just get rid of the 6.5 just to... Oh, okay. That's alright. 0.5. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Sliding right in there. Oh, yeah. 0.3. Like I'm building a house, you know? A little too much, so let's lower it back down. You know, these things are not always perfect. You can't be like, I'm just going to do everything by a factor of 3. Oh, that's going to be a problem. So here I've discovered an issue. So essentially, on some camera angle, right, like if you're looking down, see how it's sort of sticking out there? Huh. Alright, let's get this in a better position and then see if there's a way that I can fix this. And then maybe call it night. So we gotta get lower. Let's do 0.4. So I think the best way to do this is to get right here. Get as close as you can. 0.4, I don't know, 4.3. No. 0.5. Okay. Now the issue is moving it to the left. So yeah, going back to that issue I said, you know, maybe it won't be an issue here. Right? Maybe. Okay, so moving left, again, using our calculator. Alright, it's getting late, you know, a little tired. Got work tomorrow. Don't want to use the brain too much. Put it in. Play it safe. Because if you mess this up, then you're like, fuck, you know, then I gotta redo it. You know, sometimes taking the extra time to use a calculator here. If you guys want a calculator, let me know. Say, Pugs, we want it. Put it in your Google Drive. I'll put it in. Let's do 0.1. It's really pathetic that I gotta do this. So, minus 0.1 gives us -2, and then 0.4. Alright, update, save. Oh, too much. What if we make that 0.05 instead? Alright. Sweet. I don't think it's perfect, but pretty good. You see what I'm saying here? But it's all relative to your angle. And that's going to be the trouble. Well, maybe not. Our left entrance is -11 back audience. That panel's -10, which is actually higher. So it would overlap the entrance. Let's make this son of a bitch 12. And let's make this 12. And I think, yeah, there you go. See? Bam. Alright, sweet. Now the only thing is, I think we can do better on size. So, let's, so now it sucks, because now I gotta go back to the right. So maybe, let's go, increase 1, decrease 1.1. Save. Okay. And let's go a little bit higher. Let's go 0.2. Let's go 0.15 actually. Yeah, that was too much. Okay. Okay. And now let's increase 1.13. It's possible when I did this in Photoshop that the that the shape just wasn't completely even, by this little amount. But it should never be a huge issue, because it's always fixable using the scaling. I was showing some of this stuff to Wally Wood. I think one day he was like, "It's crisscrossing my eyes." And it's true though, because some of this stuff, like it can sort of fucking matches over again. That was decent. Chuck Palumbo and Steve Carino. I have no water. Oh, yes I do. I'll go get some. Let's check out this entrance. It's starting to look pretty good. So it's taking shape. You do have to be careful though when you resize things. Like if I go back and I say, well, I don't like the color, I want it to be darker on the edges. You gotta remember, I resized it. So like this was the original image, right? This is what it looks like now. So I have to take that into account if I gotta change the images. I do think I need to make them darker. I don't know if purple is appropriate. Maybe not. Maybe I'll get your feedback. By your feedback, I mean the Discord. The Discord's really cool, good people in there, for the most part. As long as you're not a penis, someone's willing to help. Alright, let's go left 0.05. So that's decrease and then increase. Alright, let's do another 0.05. So decrease 0.05, increase 0.05. Oh, look at that shit. Oh. See, there's the issue of this, but I feel like I could work around that. That looks nice. That looks really nice. Oh, sorry. Smack my microphone there. And then once I figure out how I want to do the, the curtains and rail, I think this is going to look great. I think. I'll have the gold rail too. For Madison Square Garden. Oh yeah, this is going to be great. This is going to be great. This is going to be one of my better arenas, I think. It's simple, but, you can see that, I don't know how long have I been recording here? I have no idea. I don't know how to use this crap. But, I would think 20, 30 minutes, this is all, I just went in here, I just, messed with the gradient one night. I was like, yeah, all right, cool, that looks good. Oh, all right, seems about right. And that's it. Just like that, you start to see the start of a tunnel. So hopefully as you guys were watching me, you picked up, the arena calculator that I, like to rely on sometimes. If you start crunching numbers because you're trying to align things and you got to move things, it's a great way to do it, is using something like this. And just seeing how I sort of break this CSV file, because if I had all those railings going on and everything else as I'm doing this, like game crashes, gotta restart, if you got like thousands of things downloaded off Steam like I do, it's a pain in the ass to restart the game. So but yeah, and then also again, looking at the CSV stuff, knowing how to break things up. Like the other thing, like as I told you guys, looking at that arena calculator, actually let me pull this up again. It's another little trick of the trade. You look at this arena calculator, right? I mentioned in my Critical Club post for 99, you see how many items are here, and you're probably thinking, man, like, he must have took so much time, like, placing all these things. And the reality is, I placed... Well, these 4 I had to place. But, these are all the truss pieces. All 6 of them. I think minus something the WWF.com I used in the middle just to sort of break it up. Right, but like these are all the truss pieces on the north side. In reality, I only did this. Everything that I highlighted. And then what I did was say, okay, I want to move that over. I think I went with 1.1. And so you can see I did, okay, 0.15 minus 1.1, negative 0.95. And I actually used formulas within Excel to do that. And then it just becomes copy, paste, run some formulas. And then 3 minutes later, I'm in game, refresh everything, start everything up, and and now I've got all those trusses, right? So a lot of it is just playing around with these numbers and understanding how they work, because I feel like once you get that, like it's pretty easy. And you'll notice too, like some of my nicer arenas, even like the SmackDown one, like I don't really think I used anything outside of this component, because it's just so great. It's flat, it's big, you can stretch it, shrink it, piece things together. Usually they work well. I think writing is the only thing they don't work well with. I'm also trying to discover how I use this as like a tracer. Like I'm trying to discover how these edges work. I think there's like a little, fuck you. There's like some sort of like little shade or tail off at the edge or something. So you'll notice like the top is all the way at the bottom. It might be advantageous for me to, move that up, right, and then try it again. I don't know. It's pretty wonky. Again, that's why sometimes when people ask me like, "How do you do this?" It's again, I know I'm sounding like an old man repeating myself, but honestly, I don't know. Like you just gotta play. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. I hope you learned something, or maybe decided after that, like, you know what? Maybe I can do this. Give it a shot. So enjoy and take care.